Good morning, everyone. I just came up with another way that we can create some embellishments for our autumn journal if you want to. I went on Pinterest and I went looking for just small little cross stitch things, and I've put the link to this chicken down below that'll take you to the original post for it. And what I did is when I told it to open this in another window. And then when I went to print it off, I doubled the size of it so that it would blow it up so I could see it. Um, I did just the single chicken. There are other ones, but you need to purchase their patterns. This one was just a real simple one. And I figured if I gave a link to the people that I got this from, that maybe y'all could go and at least click on their link so they get activity. So I'm not going to do this whole chicken sitting here with you, but I thought it was a cool way to get an embellishment. And I counted the number of squares across and down, and I just cut a little piece of, this is 14 count Ada. So that's what I have here. And the only color I didn't pull out is black, because you do all the black work after you've stitched it. Good morning, Janice. How are you? It is chilly here. I won't say it's cold. It is chilly. I actually put leggings on this morning instead of shorts, and I'm wearing one of my tops that I made that's got the raccoons and foxes and things on it. Hi, Leah. So, of course, Howard wants to go out now. Hang on. It's cold out there. All right, I'm going to leave it prop for a little bit. Not a long time. Sorry about that. They're getting to where they like running in and out, so I prop the door open to the porch, and that way they can go in and out. Hi, Ian. So hopefully that'll be my only interruption, because Greg is sleeping. I tried to wake him up this morning, and he hadn't told me he doesn't have to be to work till 2. So I had made his tea and tried to help him get on his way, but he didn't want to go anywhere. He wanted to stay in his bed. So anywho, I'm going to stitch a little bit and just chit chat with you guys. And I missed you yesterday because my mother-in-law's got a bright idea that she wanted the old vegetable garden beds dug up so she can garden. And she told me she's going to put all these potted plants into the wheelbarrow and haul them out there. I'm like, you don't need to be doing that. I can do it. And I'm like, she's not going to be able to even lift one of those pots full of dirt. My sister-in-law had done up a bunch of pots with vegetables all around her patio, and she doesn't like it. So she wants them all dumped into the garden bed. And she's going to garden, she says. It is 43 degrees here right now. It's a little chilly. I've got my leggings and a sweater on. And I'm just letting the cats run in and out a little bit. Tippy's all tucked up in bed. He gets cold easier because he was the runt of that litter. Scott said he'll probably be the first one we lose because his health isn't as good as the other two. All right, let me see if I can do this the way you're supposed to without a knot. Let's see. I'm just going to come down a little ways here. I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the tail section. So if I come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one's a half of a thingamabob. Well, we'll start up at the top. I know a lot of people say start in the middle, but I'm going to start at this top if I can find the hole. Let's see, I'm doing it wrong. You start in the bottom left. This might not be as easy as I thought it would be. I'll get it in the hole of the square yet. I haven't done cross stitch in a long time, but I figured this is a small one. Maybe I'd do okay with it. And it's only a half of us, so I'm going to go in the middle of that square. So what's everybody been up to? I haven't had a chance to watch Anne's from last night yet. I've saved other small. I'd like to find a tiny chart of a hedgehog. Oh, I need to tell you about the hats. I washed them. I put them in a baggie, and I was going to put them out in the truck to dry. And when we were at Scott's mom's, he went ahead and finished harvesting some garlic that we had pulled in June out of her garden and put it in the shed to ripen and, to dry out. And so he stuck that in the back, so the hats smelled like garlic. So I'm rewashing them, and they're in the dryer right now. But I don't want to bother Greg. You haven't done cross stitch in 30 years? I started those little birds I got from that craft business, and then that's about as far as it's gotten. All right. I almost feel like I need a light up underneath it. I know that you can get light boxes. I can tell where I need to go, but my eyes won't focus on the hole. That's bad. Oh, let's see. Not there. There we go. Those that do it all the time, they can go really fast. I thought about changing the colors, but I think this is supposed to be a white chicken. It doesn't really come to life when you're cross stitching until you put the black pieces on. There we go. You can watch me struggle now. Scott and I both need new glasses. And hopefully I've left myself space to do this. So that next row is 4. Oh, you know what? Those 2 at the top weren't supposed to be right next to each other, so I got to pull this all out now. Doggone it. I will make a chicken yet. There's supposed to be a space in between them. Oh, man. Can you tell it's been years since I cross-stitched too? Oh, man. Anybody that cross-stitches probably watching me and going, oh my God, she doesn't know what she's doing. No, it's just been years since I've done any of it. Like, come on, people, cut me some slack. I won't make you sit and watch me struggle this whole chicken, but I thought I'd just come on and check in with everybody and give you an idea of what you can do for an embellishment if you're a brave soul. There's something screwy there. There we go. Got it. Let's start again. Put DNA on it like Mary says. Let's see if my eyes will focus on the white thread. Oh, Howard's excited. He's running around. Let's see if I got both threads through. What was the model we got? It's a Singer. Heavy duty. And HD 6'3". I gotta turn the light on so I can see what it says. A 6380M is the one I have. Oh. Okay, let's try again. I don't know, somewhere in my autumn journal. I don't know exactly where we'll use it yet, but we'll use it somewhere in our little journal. Now, these are the ones I need to go halfway up the square this direction. And then skip one. That's where I messed up last time. It's just going to be a little decoration. You could like draw a chicken or whatever animal you want to add to your little journals. Uh-oh. What have I done here? Well, I've got a really long tail. I'm going to leave it. I'm not picking it out again. I'll cut it shorter later. I've thrifted so much DMC floss that if I waste a little bit, I'm not going to, knock myself out over it. Oh, we're crying out loud. I used to could see really good and do this really fast. But I just thought this little chicken was adorable. And I could print it off for my own use. And I'm providing the link so you can go and check it out yourself. If you want to cross stitch a chicken, or if you just want to use it as a guideline, and you could do this with graph paper if you wanted to, and then just color the squares in and make a little, what's that called, cubism chicken, if you're not up to doing the cross stitch. I just thought she was cute. We did not go to the fair, but it's going on, the South Carolina State Fair, just across the river at the fairgrounds. Why do I have a loop there? There we go. I might go one day next week, but I'm not going to knock myself out to go. 6380. M 6380. I did. I put that in the wrong hole. And now I remember why I quit doing cross stitch. There, I typed it in. You can just copy and paste. I need to order some more bobbins from Singer, because the bobbins are cheaper if you order them straight from Singer than they are anywhere else. You've been sitting watching me do this, and I've only got about 6 stitches in so far. Woo! This is going to take me a while. It got down to 38 degrees up in North Carolina. One of my classmates from New York lives up in North Carolina, and he said that his old dog loves this cooler weather. All right. So now we're going to do halvesies this other way and one over. So I'll have to remember when I come back, I'm only working half a stitch, and that goes straight across. And as Carol said, if your thread starts twisting too bad, just drop your needle and hold it in the air and it'll untwist. Our Carol's been having such a grand adventure. Have y'all been seeing the pictures she's been posting? Oh my gosh. That's why I want to go on an Alaskan cruise, so I can see all those ice caps and do all that stuff. But I don't know. Maybe someday. Or maybe my next lifetime I'll be a traveler. This time it hasn't panned out. I'm going to cut that tail a little shorter. And drop my needle and let it unwind. Is that the one with like a million bazillion stitches? The whole reason I got this one is it's just a heavy duty sewing machine. I don't need all the decorative stitches. I just needed a heavy duty machine. I can't remember what the other one was. That might have been it. I might have to lose my sweater. Getting warm. Where I've been running around and making breakfast and folding laundry. If Greg finds clothes in the dryer, he'll pull them out and just leave them in the basket. He doesn't fold them. So they've been sitting there waiting for somebody to fold them. So my clay pieces that we did together the other day are about dry. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to spray paint them black and then dry brush paint them. Now, this only has to go up halfway. That's what it means on a cross stitch. When you see where it's got like a line right here, you're only working this lower half here and then this lower half on this side. So now I'm going to skip 3 and come over and do these 4.5 there. So 1, 2, 3. So I was going to play with this for a while, and Dee Dee will be on 8:30ish, and then at 9 our Janet Nash comes on. So now we're giving Anne some research to do. And I'll be packaging up those hats, and that roving that I got for free I'm going to send to Lisa. And I found something for Anne when we were going through books that I thought she'd enjoy. So I'm going to make Anne a Happy Meal envelope. I keep looking at the back to make sure I haven't done something crazy. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a halvesy on this one. I thought by using the ecru colored Ada that y'all might be able to see this chicken come to life, but the white just blends in enough that the camera doesn't pick it up. Sorry. And I don't see why you couldn't change the colors. I mean, I just guessed on these colors. So I don't see why you couldn't change them and make a brown chicken or a black chicken. Like where all the white that I'm doing in the ones with the dots, you could change that to black and then just do gray here, and it, or a blue even on a black chicken would look cool. But I had thrifted a bunch of Ada, so I just cut a little square off one of those thrifted pieces so I could make a flock of chickens. I almost said a herd of chickens. Hi, Eternity. How are you this morning? Most definitely. That'll be a separate video. I'll do the spray painting though outside. I'm just going to spray paint all the pieces black. And I would rather do that outside. And so I'll do the dry brushing on camera. I'll come on live and do that. There is no more 6380s. Joanne's has them. I'm certain Joanne still had some. That's good. Ooh, a purple chicken. That would be cool. All right, this one, I need to go all the way back out. And here, this one's a half. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, do 3.5. All right, so oh, okay, awesome. Now there's a thing on to self thread on the Singer that I have, but it's the one where you push down and it brings that little lever, and then you got to put the thread underneath that, and then it pulls it through. I actually prefer the threader on my quilter star, which is not available anymore. Um, it works a little differently, and I like it better, but you have to just try them out, really. I know my sister-in-law I think she bought a Juki, and see, I don't need an industrial machine. I'm never gonna go into mass production. A heavy-duty home machine is just fine. Good morning, Kimberly. You might wanna check your local Joann's, Ann. I know you're trying to use your Prime, I bet. I got a Joann's ad right here. Let me look at it. Oh, they're doing their doorbuster thing. They had sewing machines last week. Yeah, there's no sewing machines this week. What's today's date? Today's the last day for the Moonlight Madness doorbusters. And it looks like it's mostly fabric, yarn, cricket. Buy one, get one free if you need transfer vinyl. Their sewing and quilting and cutting tools are 40% off. Fabric, and the Hildy and Joe strung beads, and then the craft and sewing storage, which even at 50% off, Joann's is kind of high. Just my personal experience. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to go with it. Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes they put it on sale for less than that. I think I got it for $189.99. Deb could probably remember better than me because her memory's better than mine. Skip one and do 3.5. And this one's a half. So I got to do just half of that square. This is going to be a cute little chicken. And I hope I've got enough Ada here. Hopefully I'm not going to work my chicken's head off the side. I counted it. Oh, no, I've pulled it free. So I got to rethread. Oh, your Joann's isn't close to you. Mine's like the one that I used to work at is like 7 minutes from the house. Hobby Lobby's about 8 minutes from the house. Joann's is about 20 minutes. There's 2 Joann's. Well, there's 2 Joann's here too. 2 Joann's, 2 Michael's. I was going to say Michael's is about 20 minutes from me. One is maybe closer, the newer one, but it's not as big as the one I used to work at. It was so funny when I went to pick that yarn up. She told me where she lived, and it was on the same street my parents and family lived on in the 80s, 3 houses down. I thought it was funny. So we drove by Mom and Dad's old house. That neighborhood's kind of gone into the proverbial toilet, as they say. And this is a halvesy. So only do half of that square. All right, so we've done down to here. So then we're going to do here. I had the metal board and the per line magnifier thing at one time, but then I said, oh, I'm never going to cross stitch again. And I kept my floss for just regular slow stitching and got rid of that. And now I kind of need it. So, oh, I missed. There's one underneath there. I'll catch it on the way back. So 2, skip 1, do 3. I'll do that one I missed when I go back up. Hi, Angie. I don't know if it's lucky or not, Angie, because when they're close like that, you have a tendency of going more often than you probably should. I'd love to go to the All About Fabrics warehouse again. They're only open one weekend a month. Remember, we went there in the upstate, and I'd love to go again. But I don't know. We just haven't. With Scott teaching, he needs time to rest. Working a day job and then teaching in the evenings when you're almost 65 years old is a bit much. Ooh, I think next year when he can start drawing some of his benefits, he'll finally break down and have the surgery he needs on his legs. I think he needs new knees. Yours is an hour away with traffic? Wow. Mary said hers is closing, I think is what she said. And I got to remember, I got to catch this one I missed. Took a break to find where I am on the pattern, and now I can't get it in the hole that I need to get it in. Oh, come on, eyeballs, focus. And then I needed one under here. So skip 1. I'm working this one a little bit backwards. It'll be the same layout, but oh, come on. There we go. Aw. Need to be careful when you're around bears. Don't get between them and their cubs. That's not a safe place to be. All right, so now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's 6 right under here. Won't be long and the bears will all be going quiet for the colder months. I'll go off at 8 o'clock. And what I will do is while I'm listening to Dee Dee for a little bit and then, okay, that's good, Angie. I'll keep stitching on this while I'm watching them. And then I'll just put a picture of the chicken when I get done on my community tab. And then I'll put it in my Facebook group too. So anybody can see it that's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 1. Do 1.5. Because I can tell this is going to take me a while. Anybody else that sews or quilts? More quilting. Brenda in Mount Scrapmore, she has a Facebook group, and they can't have rooms that they have all the time going on to sit and sew together. I'm stuttering awful bad this morning. Might be time for another cup of tea. This needle feels huge, but it's an embroidery needle. Maybe that's the problem. It's embroidery and not cross stitch. Just seems long. I watched a Will Ferrell movie on YouTube here. Everything Must Go. I've never seen him kind of in a more serious movie. You know, you usually see him in comedies and such. But it was pretty good. I think he did a good job in it. It was a little sad. It starts off with him losing his job and his wife, and she throws all his stuff out in the front of the house and changes all the locks. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish they'd open more registers in places than they have them. If I go grocery shopping at the Walmart market, which is up the road, because I don't really have, I can drive to Publix, but it's a ways off. And I don't like the Food Lions and KJ's at all. So the Walmart market is right across the street from Joann's. So I generally go there. But if you go in the early mornings, you have to check yourself out because there are no cashiers early mornings. None. Not a single one. They got the lady standing there watching you check yourself out, but they don't have an active person on a register. And now to me, that's ridiculous. So I need to skip 2 and then do 2. So skip 1, 2. I need to come up here and do 2, skip 1. do 1, skip 2, do 1. So 1, 2, skip 1, so there's 2, skip 1, do 1, skip 2, do 1. Is that 2? Yeah. And then a half 1. Skip 1 and do a half 1. Skip 2. Do a half 1. Does anybody have anything planned for this week? Uh-oh. I did it again. My mother-in-law sent me home with some bulbs that we found in one of the beds, and I need to go back over there at some point and replant a bunch of the bulbs we dug up because we wanted to get all the weeds out, but there's a ton of daffodil bulbs all in one of the beds. And some, I think, are ranunculus bulbs. I need to look them up. Actually, I think they should not bulbs. They're actually what they call corms. Hi, Roy. How are you? Roy's handing out hugs. Yeah, I'm trying, Roy. If I quit unthreading my needle and stabbing myself and poking in the wrong hole, I might do better. Oh. Oh. And how are you all doing in the colder areas? I'm sitting here chilling at 40 something degrees in the central part of South Carolina. Oh my goodness, I might have to go find a needle threader. I only have like 12 of them somewhere. Might be a good idea. All right, what is this one I'm supposed to be doing now? 2, the half. The half one. Oh, Anne has homework. You can't count cross stitch. A lot of people get the ones that are pre-printed. I think what I need to do is go get a Tupperware and one of those flat flashlights that we have from Home Depot and make my own light box. It's beautiful in Florida, says Dana. That's awesome. I think I'm going to sign off, and I'll keep struggling with this chicken, and I'll post a picture of her when she's finished because Dee Dee will be on in a few minutes. You're near JFK. We always flew through LaGuardia for some reason. I don't think I ever landed at JFK. It was always LaGuardia. And one Christmas, we were coming back from down here because Grandma and I had come down to see my mother. And when we were landing at LaGuardia, the plane had a hard time stopping, and we came 1 foot from going into the water. We got off and we were like, that was scary. It was just so cold and the plane kept icing up, and it was a pretty scary flight that time. That trip was scary. I think that's when Grandma decided we wouldn't come south until the weather had improved if we were flying back in. And I think we flew when we left New York. I think we caught a small plane out of Binghamton. And then where did we go? Scranton? And then at one point, oh, Dee Dee, thank you, sweetie. At one point, we were driving to Scranton. My aunt would take us, and we'd fly out of Scranton to LaGuardia, to Charlotte, to Columbia. You can't go anywhere out of Columbia, South Carolina, without either going to Charlotte or Atlanta. So what we do is, because the wait time is so long, is if we need to fly now, we'll drive to either Greenville Spartanburg's airport or to Charlotte's airport and just leave our car up there in long-term parking. And then that way we can get home at a reasonable hour. When I did training for Cracker Barrel in Nashville, I didn't get home until like 2:00 in the morning, because when we got to Charlotte, our plane was late. So they tried another plane. They had me walking back and forth across the Charlotte airport for an hour and a half. No, we need y'all to move to gate such and such. It's on the other side. Start now. We'll have the plane ready when you get there. We get there. Oh, that plane's not. We're going to pull a plane out. So you need to go back to this gate. And we were just all over it. And then the plane they pulled out, I kid you not. I know it's aeronautical duct tape, but the plane had duct tape holding the windows on. So yeah, that that was a trip to remember. And then it was 6 months of employment to want to forget. All right, that's a good place for me to stop. I'm going to just run my thread through back here through a couple stitches. When I put this in my little journal, I'm just going to glue it in anyway, so all these threads will get glued into place. And I know the horrors, but I'm doing this as an embellishment, so yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, Dee Dee. That was very sweet of you. All right, I'm going to go, and we'll go over and visit with Dee Dee a bit. And then Janet Nash will be on at 9. I jump back and forth. I stick with Dee Dee for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I jump over to Janet's while she's on, and then I jump back to Dee Dee. So, Dee Dee, I'm a jumper. I'm a hopper. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. If you want to look up some cross stitch on Pinterest and then kind of blow it up a little bit, you can do this on graph paper and then cut it out with just markers. You don't have to cross stitch, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Bye.